find out because it's physically, you can see people being affected by cholera. But unfortunately, this is a silent epidemic. It's killing our children gradually, parents, if you don't know. Many children are facing abuse. And unfortunately, we mothers, we are not aware. Many of our children are being abused by people that surround them. Those people in that picture, they are surrounded by our children. They surround our children and they abuse our children. Today we are going to see a lot of things. Research has shown that 1 in every 3 girls are abused before they clock the age of 18. Meaning that for every 3 women seated here, 1 must have been abused before they clock the age of 18. It also shows that 1 in every 6 boys are abused before they clock the age of 18. Somebody asked me one day, said, boys, do they abuse boys? I said, yes. The boys are being abused by people. But unfortunately, we have low reports of abuse. Why? Because it gets to a stage, the boys start enjoying it. They start enjoying it and they refuse to talk. Number 1, because of the ego, the African culture. You are the man. You don't have to voice out. You don't have to express yourself. You are a man. Keep it to yourself. That is what they believe. So for boys, they hardly talk about abuse. 1 child is usually abused every 2 minutes in the whole world. As the clock is clicking, bang, 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 1 child is abused every 2 minutes. What is child sexual abuse? And you may ask me. Child sexual abuse is any sexual activity that takes place between an adult. An adult could be a woman or a man and a child. Teenager, in this case, between 13 and 18 years and a child. Then also an older child who is maybe 3 to 4 years older than the victim and a child. Meaning that a child of 10 years can abuse a child of 7 years. Meaning that a child of 5 years can actually abuse a child of 3 years. And it's an abuse a child cannot fully understand or give consent to. Children don't give consent to abuse. They can't say, abuse me. They can't understand. They can't really know what is happening. They are not matured enough to give their consent that any adult or any teenager could abuse them. You can see that it's really an abuse on children. Child sexual abuse is in 2 forms, I tell you. You begin to ask, 2 forms? Yes. The first one is the physical touch. When a physical touch has taken place, touching or fondling a child's genital area. When an adult, a teenager or an older child touches or fondles a child's genital area, that is the vagina, the penis, the anus, child sexual abuse has taken place. We have a lot of parents, a lot of adults that are fondling our children's private parts. I tell you, there was a girl that confided in me. She said she's about 11. She said at 5, her mother was running a restaurant. And the mother told her, look, this gentleman is here. And he wants to use the loo. Can you take him there? You can imagine how careless a mother can be. And the girl innocently took the man to the loo. And when they were in the loo, the man pushed the girl into the loo and was fondling with her vagina. Do you know that when I was talking to this girl, she was crying? You can imagine 6 years gap, and she still remembered. She was telling me that, auntie, each time I remember, I cry, and I feel pain in my vagina. I don't know what to do. I had to pray for her and counsel her. You can see and the mother did not know. Till now, the mother does not know what happened to this girl. So we mothers, we have to be very careful and watch out for our children. Let us not let our children out to predators who are ready to abuse our children. Then when sorry, I can't see that slide very well. It's very dark. Fondling a child, forcing a child to touch or fondle an adult's genital areas. There are some adults, instead of touching that child, they just bring out their hand and say the child should touch them. They use it for sexual stimulation. They want the child to touch them, to stimulate them. I tell you, many people are doing this to our children. Even children, they do it to each other. I tell you very well, brothers and sisters. I have seen situations where a brother is abusing his own sister. And it's a pity it's happening in our society today. Sex. When there is an actual penetration, intercourse has taken place. That's child sexual abuse. Then there is the problem of incest too. Among blood relatives, when there is sex among blood relatives, we have seen it happen. When fathers are abusing their daughters, it happened some 2 years ago in Bogija here, when you are going to along Aja. After Aja, it happened. A father sexually abused her 14-year-old daughter, and the result of that abuse is a baby girl. This girl got pregnant, and right now the baby is with the motherless baby's home. In fact, last week I read in the Punch newspapers that they will jail him by March 13. They are going to jail him, which is very little anyway. But I thank God that yesterday, the deputy governor of Lagos State, she voiced out that from Monday, they want to have a clampdown on predators who are abusing our children. And they are trying to fight so that the law can make it a jail term for any sexually abused child. Sodomy, that is the anal sex. And this concerns mostly boys. They have sex through the anus. And it's usually very painful for some boys. A boy was recently abused through the anus. An adult abused him through the anus. He didn't tell his parents. It was after a while he started having pain whenever he tries to defecate. And the father asked him, what happened? Why you are not looking too well? He said, nothing, daddy. After 4 days, the boy had to talk because the boy could not defecate and he was already bleeding. And they had to, take him to the hospital. Unfortunately, the abuser was arrested. You can imagine what is going on. Fingering. I had an experience with a girl on July 10. I went to their school to talk about virginity. In the process of talking, more than half of the children who are in boarding house came out because they were abused. One particular case that was so pathetic was a girl. She was 13. That was 2010. She said at the age of 5, her mother had to travel and she was on holiday, so she had to stay with her grandmother. In the process of staying with her grandmother, there was a gate man in the house. Each time the grandmother goes out, the gate man will call the girl and say, come, pull off your clothes. And children are very obedient. She pulled off her clothes and the man will dip his hand into the vagina and will bring out a knife that if you tell your grandmother, anybody, I'm going to kill you here. And children, she said the Baba, they called the man Baba, that Baba did it for 3 times before she went back to her mother. Do you know she did not tell the mother? I was the first person she really opened up to because I told her you have to break the silence. And she was able to break the silence. And it has affected her for 7 years or 8 years. This thing affected her so much. She doesn't have friends. She keeps to herself. She's very quiet and all that because she was bottling up something in her heart. A lot of people that are abused, they hide it in one part of their heart. They keep it there. And I want to tell you this morning, as I was praying and preparing for this message, the Lord told me that there are some women here that were abused at a very young age, and they now hide it in one part of their heart. They need to break the silence. I tell you, it's affecting a lot of women in their marriages. We'll see the effects of child sexual abuse very soon. A lot of women are suffering in their marriages, suffering in silence. They refuse to open up their mouth and say, this is what is happening to them. And I enjoy you today that please, you need to break the silence. Otherwise, you will continue to feel the effects on and on in all the days of your life. The non-contact and the non-touch. This is what makes child sexual abuse a silent epidemic, I want to tell you. Exposing genitals to a child. I'm going to tell us that we mothers, we are very guilty about this. Sometimes when we are dressing up, we allow our children, our boys, to stay in the room with us dressing up. We undress in front of our children, exposing our breast, exposing our body. It is very, very wrong. A woman was telling me in this kind of seminar that look, I have 4 boys and I undress in front of them. Some of them are teenagers. And it even got to a stage, they were telling her, Mommy, cover your body now. Mommy, please cover your body. It was so terrible. And I tell us mothers, this is not too good for our children. I know in our age, maybe at the age of a teenager, you can run around naked. But now, tell a 7-year-old girl to run around naked, she will not do that. I remember what my son, when he was about 6, he was having his bath. And I this boy is taking too long in the bathroom. I went to the bedroom and opened the door suddenly. He said, Mommy now. He did like this. I said, what is this? He said, Mommy, why couldn't you knock? Don't you know I'm taking my bath? At 6, a boy is already aware of his sexuality. He already knows that he has a sexual part that has to be covered, that nobody should see. So what are you telling me? That as teenagers will be in your room and you're undressing? you are causing problems, psychological problems to your children. Because most of these children, they watch a lot of videos. They see it in the magazines, and they want to match it with the physical aspect. And you as a mother, you are exposing yourself. It's making it easier for them. It sticks to their brain, and it does a lot of harm to the children. Voyeurism, peeping Tom. This one happens a lot, and it's men that do it a lot to our daughters. When our children are having their bath, especially teenagers that are just budding or preteens, you see some men, they will peep through the door hole to observe and to see the child. Or they run to the child's room, and even fathers do it to their children. I tell you, they do it. Recently, we were having a meeting of a network of NGOs on child sexual abuse. And one of us got up and said she's actually handling a case of a father that was peeping through the door hole to see a daughter's nakedness. The daughter came to report. She had to call the helpline. I will give you the helpline later. And you know what happened? He observed that the father will always come there and check the door hole. And when she finishes, she will go to her room. The father will sneak in and check. You can see what is happening. Yes, that is a grooming process. Before you know it, the father can rape the daughter.